This presentation aims to illuminate a critical distinction. We will explore the characteristics that separate healthy, life-giving churches from manipulative, destructive cults. Our purpose is to equip you with knowledge and discernment. Have you ever pondered the true nature of a cult? What is it that instills such fear and apprehension in our hearts when we hear that word? The very idea challenges our understanding of faith and community. Our core message today is to analyze the subtle, often imperceptible boundary between genuine spiritual devotion and practices that lead to control and exploitation. This line can be dangerously thin, making discernment essential. We emphasize the paramount importance of critical thinking and unwavering awareness within all religious contexts. True faith invites scrutiny, while manipulation demands blind adherence. At the heart of many dangerous groups lies a core tactic: the demand for unquestioning loyalty to a leader. This individual often claims unique divine authority or special access to God's will. Their word becomes absolute truth. These groups impose rigid rules that govern nearly every aspect of a member's life. From daily routines to major life decisions, personal autonomy is systematically eroded. Freedom of choice diminishes over time. Manipulative practices extend to controlling dress codes, dictating relationships, and even managing personal finances. Members are often pressured to surrender their resources, both material and relational, to the group. A deliberate isolation from outside influences and connections is a hallmark of these organizations. Family, friends, and former communities are often demonized or deemed spiritually inferior. This creates an echo chamber of belief. Consider the example of Acts 17:11, where the Bereans were praised for examining the scriptures daily to see if what they were taught was true. This biblical principle stands in stark contrast to the blind obedience demanded by cults. America has a rich tradition of religious freedom, a cornerstone of its founding principles. Yet, this freedom has also at times allowed for the rise of unchecked authority, leading to tragic outcomes. History offers stark warnings. We recall infamous examples such as the People's Temple, which ended in mass suicide, and the Branch Davidians, whose standoff with authorities resulted in devastating loss of life. These events serve as grim reminders. Many of these groups began innocently, often with sincere spiritual intentions. However, they gradually transformed into dangerous entities as leaders consolidated power and systematically isolated their members from external reality. Today, similar patterns can be observed in certain modern megachurches, online ministries, and personality-driven movements. The scale may differ, but the underlying dynamics of control remain disturbingly consistent. The insidious nature of cults often begins with love bombing, an overwhelming display of affection and acceptance. This initial warmth gradually gives way to subtle, then overt control, ensnaring members before they realize the danger. This segment addresses a crucial question. At what point does a spiritual community cross the line? When does a church intended for worship and fellowship transition into a destructive cult? The first red flag is a leader who claims divine authority or special exclusive access to God. They position themselves as the sole interpreter of Scripture or divine will, bypassing personal spiritual discernment. Red flag number 2 is the teaching of exclusivism. This doctrine asserts that only the group possesses the full truth, or that salvation is exclusively found within their specific organization. All outside groups are deemed lost or deceived. Third, a demand for total loyalty above all else, even superseding family bonds, is a clear warning sign. Members are often pressured to prioritize the group's needs and leaders' directives over their own loved ones. The fourth red flag involves financial exploitation and control over members' resources. This can range from excessive tithing demands to pressuring individuals to donate all their assets to the organization. Fifth, severe punishment for questioning or expressing doubt is a critical indicator. Dissent is not tolerated; instead, it is met with shaming, ostracization, or spiritual condemnation. Intellectual curiosity is suppressed. Finally, the sixth red flag is the presence of severe negative consequences for attempting to leave the group. These can include threats of spiritual damnation, social shunning, or even physical intimidation. It is crucial to clarify that not every strict or demanding church is a cult. The focus must always be on the power dynamics, the degree of control exerted, and the suppression of individual autonomy. We are called to discernment. As Sabas, 1 John 4:1 instructs us to test the spirits to see whether they are from God. This biblical mandate encourages careful examination of all spiritual claims and teachings. The impact on former members of cultic groups is profound and enduring. They often experience significant and lasting psychological harm, a testament to the destructive nature of these environments. Key effects include pervasive fear, deep-seated guilt, and a profound loss of identity. Individuals struggle to redefine who they are outside the group's rigid framework, often feeling adrift and disoriented. The psychological effects experienced by cult survivors bear striking parallels to those suffered by victims of domestic abuse or other forms of coercive control. The patterns of manipulation are remarkably similar. Leaving such a group requires immense bravery and resilience. The decision to exit often means severing ties with one's entire social support system and facing an uncertain future alone. It is a common misconception that only unintelligent or vulnerable individuals fall prey to cults. However, intelligent, educated, and accomplished people can also be drawn into these organizations. Cult leaders are masters at exploiting moments of vulnerability. They target individuals seeking community, grappling with grief, or searching for deeper meaning and purpose in their lives. Anyone can be susceptible under the right circumstances. Sophisticated manipulation tactics combined with a person's genuine spiritual hunger can create a powerful and deceptive allure. Empowerment comes through education, maintaining diverse outside connections, and trusting your inner instincts. Never silence that quiet voice of doubt or concern. Your discernment is a gift. Remember, genuine faith should liberate the spirit, foster critical thought, and expand one's capacity for love and compassion. It should never trap, diminish, or control an individual. We encourage you to engage with this vital topic. Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below. Your voice contributes to a collective awareness that protects us all. This is the Scholar's Ledger, where history, faith, and power are revealed. If this video opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape American faith and culture. Drop a comment below. Have you ever encountered a high-control religious group? What warning signs did you notice? Let's keep this conversation going, because the more we talk about this, the more we can protect people from spiritual abuse. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, your faith should set you free, not trap you.